saying was, one side I was saying is that, we have to do an exercise in terms of sensing it out that this is what brands are. And when we create a brand, we are also looking forward to create an asset for a given firm, right? This is a long and lengthy exercise, my dear students. It is not that something which you can do it or probably can look forward to build it out it on a given day. It is going to take time, right? The organizations have to put a lot of effort for long number of days, years, months to create a brand, because then only people can recognize you that you are there. Supposingly, if I say that, she used the term called Colgate, or if I say, Maruti, or if I say Fevicol, they all have created their own brand, right? But one thing which I have learned over the year is that creation of brand, takes time, because people will take time to recognize you. People are going to judge you, and once they are satisfied with you, probably they look forward to go for you for longer time, right? So some of the organizations, what they have done out is that they have either created something called, you know uh, corporate brand name, or national brand name, or private label brand. But these all things are going to be there at different levels. At the regional level, you always find that there is a regional brand. आप अपने एरिया में जहाँ पे भी हैं, वहाँ पे आप देखेंगे कि एक छोले भटूरे वाला भी अपना ब्रांड क्रिएट करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, because that is where his bread and butter lies. So some of the business organization people look forward to have their brand name it in the region, because his whole concept is all about capturing the market at the micro segment, right? He is not at all considering that he is looking forward to do something at the at the pan India level. Probably he is just trying to have it at the micro level. And there are various benefits associated. Some of the benefits, if I have to say, I'll say that, guarantee of a product quality. Now, when somebody has created a brand, we also say that, there is a guarantee associated, and that is the reason that majority of us look forward to go and buy the product, right? Whether it is, let's say, Samsung's mobile phone, why do we just go to an exclusive outlet and just buy it? It's just because of the fact that we believe that the product that is being sold by them is of the highest quality. Something like that, we are able to recognize it over a period of time, which we also try to say, yes, yeah, guys, interested guys can be here, otherwise can leave. Over a period of time, we also have figured it out, saying that there is something called emotional attachment with the brand. And that is the reason that the whole concept of loyalty also by default comes into picture. आप सोचिए loyalty कैसे होगा? Unless and until, if I am not going to be associated with a particular brand, loyalty is never going to take place. Loyalty takes place only when I become an emotional user of the product over a period of time, right? Uh, some people have a notion that, there is something called easy decision making. True, because once we are satisfied with the brand, then we just go and buy it. We do not have to think much about it. MDH masala, for example, catch masala, for an example. Mother says go and bring something, you go and get it quickly. It's just because of the fact that that we are satisfied, and therefore decision making process by default is going to be less by nature, right? Reduce the risk of wrong packaging. I think that is again one concept. Uniform price. Yeah, that's again one significant thing that you can take it, saying that there is a uniform price associated with the brand. So something that you buy it in Noida, or something that you buy it in Delhi, or something you buy it in Meerut, probably there is going to be some uniformity that is going to be maintained, and this uniformity is not going to create any kind of confusion it in the minds of the consumer, right? So all these things are there. This will also these all things are were more from the consumer's perspective. Likewise, we can say that it also helps the business organization also to penetrate out it in the market. See, if I can create a brand it in the regional, most of the times business organization believes that let me do something at the regional level, then at the then at a market level, or probably at that in that district level, and then go to the state, and then at the national level. So this also gives you a sense that where you are standing what is your market size, it in the micro segment or it in the macro segment or it in a bigger market or it in a bigger segment, because of the fact that if we are capable enough to understand these things, probably we can look forward to be present out at least it in India, and probably look forward to start capturing it at the Asian level and then probably at the other countries as well. That is again one thing. Some other benefits which are associated with the firms, we can say, is that it gives a legal protection, act it as an entry barrier. So I'm just trying to connect some of the key things which were there out it in your you know notes itself, so that you feel that this is what a brand is all about. uh, as we move forward, we can also say that there is something called, people say that uh, what are the different ways through which we can select a brand name. इंडिया में बहुत ही खतरनाक चीज है. you know uh, I was coming from my house and I was seeing one restaurant, and the restaurant name was Second Wife. Just imagine, Second Wife. It's the name of the restaurant. So is it that they are trying to create a brand? And if I say to my friend that I'm sitting it in with second wife, rather than saying sitting it in second wife, there is a huge difference. So if you slip your tongue, you are over for life, right? You are over for life. But that is how restaurants are coming up. They come out with a second wife restaurant, and at times I feel. Then I was reading one school name, and it was written Global International something Indian also. So I was just sensing यार, global भी हो गया, international भी हो गया, Indian भी हो गया. बगल में अगर if they have to do rebranding, they can use regional. Think, see, you are saying everything, right? Global, international, national, regional, local, very difficult. But then people still recognize you as a brand. So time and time again, I must say that it is an exercise. It is an exercise where you give the content it to the people, and if the people are satisfied with the content, they by default start recognizing. Then it doesn't make much of a difference, but it should be easy to understand. There has to have some sensibility associated with the name that you give it, that I must say. But again, when I see the Indian context, at times, yeah, I also feel that which one is the most apt one. Sikanji Jain wala, Jain Sikanji something, right? So I just if you are not from the Delhi side or from the Meerut side, one can't make it out, because you would have by then would have seen more than thousands. After every 100 meter, you have one Jain Sikanji wala. So which one is the original one? Can you make it out? Unless you are not from that particular region, they would have started it, would have given the franchisee and all that, but very difficult at times. Like that, if you see um, MACD as an example, or KFC as an example, why they are growing? Because of the concept of standardization it in their product, standardization it in their services. As long as we are capable enough to have something called standardization it in the concept, I think we are going to grow significantly. उन लोगों ने वही किया है. If you eat burger it in Delhi, and then if you eat burger 200 kilometers far from this place, the taste of the burgers would not change. So that is where you are trying to say to all your customer base, wherever you go, whatever you do, you still will remember us, because the quality that we are giving it over here, you will get the same quality. And it in the service side, it is a difficult thing, but then also time, with respect to time, people have started coming out with these things, saying that we can even look forward to render a similar kind of services. देखो, goods और services में different है, but yes madam, would you like to take the class, please? Very serious discussion going on. uh, कुछ लोग, what they are doing out is that they are using something called individual name, right? Now, when I say individual name, I must say that individual name can be from the perspective of, like, Procter and Gamble's product, like Head and Shoulder or Pantene. Different name है सबका. Or yeah, Lux, Lifebuoy. Why? Because one side they are trying to say that, these are under one umbrella, but customer would not be remembering this. Customer is remembering more of something like, you know Lifebuoy, Lux, or Procter and Gamble, Pantene, Head and Shoulders, something like that, and they would be using it. They, majority of the customers, 70% of the consumer may not be knowing that it belongs to Procter and Gamble or it belongs to HUL. They are using it because that is something which is satisfying them, right? So sometimes we do something called, you know different name, and that different name helps us to grow at times. Ariel, for example, Surf at, so these are considered to be it as low involvement product, but irrespective of saying that it is a low involvement product, but it even helps. So easy to pronounce also, I can say. Now sometimes you will feel that, yaar, ye to Tata hai. If you see Tata, every product line that they deal, it has a one name. Every product line Reliance deal, it has a one name. Why? इसका भी फायदा हो रहा है, इसका भी अपना फायदा है. Why? Because the family branding is, or the corporate branding is, Tata. You see, Tata Steel, Tata Communication, Tata Services, Tata Consultancy. Why all these things? It's all because of the fact that if you have ever used the product of a Tata and were satisfied, by default rest of the product, is going to get moved automatically out of the shelf. It starts generating trust, and this is what we want, that it shall start generating trust with this. Certain times some companies, again, it is all the philosophy of the company, that how they want to operate out it in the market. Certain times the philosophy of the company can be at the individual level, so they go for. Sometimes, if you are a new player out it in the market, you look forward to come out with a private brand name. जैसे मैंने जैन सिकंजी वाला बोला, because you will start it somewhere down the line. Every individual has to start it from somewhere, and that somewhere has to be with some name. Then only slowly there is going to be a dispersion effect. Now when I say dispersion effect, I am trying to say that ये धीरे धीरे move करेगा, right? It is not that something which is going to happen all at once. It is going to move slowly, right? थोड़ा और बढ़ाता हूँ. ठीक चल रहा है? Is it fine? ठीक है. इसके बाद थोड़ा जल्दी जल्दी करता हूँ, क्योंकि इसके बाद थोड़ा क्वेश्चन पेपर पैटर्न भी बताना है. आज मेरा थोड़ा मूड में हूँ. ठीक है, जल्दी जल्दी करता हूँ. अब लेट हो गया तो मेरा दिमाग थोड़ा सा आउट था. So in the brand development strategy, एग्जाम में आने के बहुत पॉसिबिलिटी है इसका. It in the brand development strategy, what normally happens out is that, which strategy that you are going to use it, because ultimately we have to use a strategy, that, can we use the same strategy, should we come out with a different strategy. So under this context, what we do out is that we normally talk about a 2 by 2 matrix. ठीक है, एक तरफ आप उसमें लिख दो 2 by 2 मैट्रिक्स, समझते हो? 4 कॉलम्स आ गए, उसमें 4 बॉक्सेस आ गए. ठीक है, उसमें हम क्या कर रहे हैं, एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट, न्यू प्रोडक्ट, एग्जिस्टिंग न्यू, एग्जिस्टिंग न्यू. वन साइड यू टेक प्रोडक्ट, वन साइड यू टेक ब्रांड. ठीक है, जब एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी गोज विद द एग्जिस्टिंग ब्रांड, एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी मान लो कुछ चल रहा है with the existing brand name, so there we use a strategy called line extension. मतलब उस लाइन में हम कुछ कुछ एक्सटेंशन करते जाएंगे, प्रोडक्ट में नहीं कर रहे हैं. जैसे मिल्क में आप एग्जांपल ले लो, अमूल मिल्क प्योर, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, नहीं नहीं, फुल क्रीम, फिर डबल टोन, सिंगल टोन, ट्रिपल टोन, कुछ कुछ करते रहेंगे हम. समथिंग वी विल कीप ऑन डूइंग इट. व्हाट इज दिस? मिल्क इज ए मिल्क, but the thing is that we are extending that line, and the brand name is still the same. I hope I made it right. That is what I mean when I say line extension. Similarly, at times there can be a possibility that you are dealing out with a new product. New product, it in the existing brand name, उसको बोलते हैं brand extension. And one good example that comes to my mind is Kingfisher. है ना, boys would know Kingfisher. Reason being is that Kingfisher was a great brand when it comes to, can't say from here, right? So symbol signifies, everyone was knowing it, and the Kingfisher thought that, yeah, since they all know me very well and I am the market leader, why not to use the same brand name it in airlines? Because when I have the same loyal customer over here, if I come out with a new brand, probably chances are very high that satisfied customer by default directly will fly from here. That was the strategy. Certain times it may even happen that you use a new brand name with the existing product. New brand name, इसी को बोलते हैं multi brands, right? This is why we call it as multi brand, which normally is being used by HUL and Procter and Gamble. वो क्या कर रहे हैं, जैसे Lux, Surf, Pantene, Head and Shoulder. What are all these things? They are just having a new thing coming up across, so that the product line is same, shampoo is same, but they are giving a new name to the shampoo, so that people look forward to go for a change also, or if they were not satisfied with this, at least we have an opportunity to throw them with something else, and therefore the consumers look forward to go for it, right? uh, and then there can be exclusivity, new product with a new brand, मतलब आप पूरा ही change कर रहे हो, then it is called new branding strategy, then it is called new branding strategy. एग्जाम में इसके आने के बहुत चांसेस हैं आपके, as far as examination is concerned. I think you also would have got the feedback from the university. You will have a descriptive examination as well as your online examination. देखो, you know make a strategic for studying the subject. Read 2-3 chapters it on a given day whenever you get time. I wouldn't say that it is easy for you all to study all at a go, but the chapters have been designed in a manner that अगर आप थोड़ा थोड़ा ऐसे डायरेक्ट पढ़ भी लोगे ना, बहुत सारा चीज स्ट्रेट अवे चला जाएगा. And then in case if some people are finding very difficulty in terms of understanding, then you have all kinds of things available these days. You cannot crib and say कि सर पीपीटी भेज दो, पीपीटी भेज दो. आज की डेट में यार सब कुछ अवेलेबल है. Any topic you press it on it in Google, you'll get the input, right? So do not panic it on that. But yes, जहाँ जहाँ आपको लग रहा है कि emphasis किया गया है मॉडल पे, those models you people should look forward to study. Those models you just cannot keep it aside saying that ये नहीं आ सकता, यहाँ से क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है. ऐसे ही एक कॉन्सेप्ट है ब्रांड इक्विटी का, right? Brand equity, normally if I ask it to you, you will say that brand equity is the overall value of the brand. Of course, but brand equity again can be measured with respect to 4 major components. Certain times we say that what is the brand value, how many people are aware of the brand, so we say that brand awareness, brand recognition, or association, and brand quality, right? So those things also you can look forward to understand that association means how many people are associated with the brand, right? Brand awareness means the awareness about the brand, whether the people are actually aware about this or not. And then there is a quality measurement. So quality again can be measured with some parameters like tangibility, assurance, empathy, uh, reliability, and so on. So वो अभी इतना पढ़ने का नहीं है. हियर मैं थोड़ा सा कट शॉर्ट में पढ़ाऊंगा. पैकेजिंग एंड लेबलिंग, understand this. I'm cutting my length of the speech. Reason being is that if you see labeling is what it is a descriptive information that is there it on the box of any particular product that you buy it, right? And why do we do packaging? Because packaging, major function of packaging are two by nature. However, there can be many, but again, one, it is going to act it as a protecting mechanism. Agar ye kuch hai, so it is protecting my earbuds, right? That's one thing. Second thing is that it is going to help you to entice the consumer base with ease. So the degree of stimulation by default happens with the packaging itself, and today everything is being given of the highest importance with respect to packaging. अगर आज आप देखोगे, everywhere you feel that packaging is being given the highest importance, because if the packaging is थोड़ा ढीला डाला है, it is not lucrative enough, people do not get attracted towards it, as a result people don't go for it. So the important thing is that it has to be done it in the nicest manner. And it in this, certain times, you do labeling as brand label. कभी कभी आप देखते हो एक बड़ा सा नाम लिखा होगा, जैसे मैंने आपके ही बुक से लिया है, डेटॉल लिखा हुआ है, राइट, डेटॉल, तो दूर से दिख रहा है सबको, मेजर, छोटा छोटा जो लिखा है वो हम लोगों को नहीं दिखता है ना, विद एज फैक्टर, इतना छोटा लिखा है, but that all is visible to everybody, that becomes your a brand label, straight away everybody can recognize it and you go and pick it, right? Like that there can be a grade label. Grading normally is being used for the agricultural products, and NPK है, उसका percentage लिखा होगा 17 18 19 18 18 19 something, or A B C D something like that, depending it on the type of product that you are intending to buy it, and it has some grading, and therefore you look forward to go for such type of things. And about to all, what will be there is that there can also be a type of labeling that we call it as informative labeling. अब आप देखो कुछ कुछ जगह पे आपको ये देता है, it gives you information about how to use the product, assemble and use the product, so they give you a complete information, so that in that type of labeling is being termed it as informative labeling. Otherwise mostly you'll find that there is a descriptive label, right? अगर किसी टेक्निकल एरिया पे आप जाओगे जिसमें जोड़ना ओढ़ना है and all that is there, so they are going to give you informative label so that you can actually use the product out with ease. ठीक है? Any question here, by the way? Gentlemen over there, at last, the happy ladies group. Is it okay? Shall we move to the next? So that was all about branding, packaging, and labeling. Moving to the next, let's talk about something called pricing, right? Pricing, another significant factor. ये थोड़ा बहुत यहाँ तक चल सकते हैं ना? नहीं यार, देख रहा हूँ कैसी बात नहीं कर रहे, पता चला हम ही यहीं लट चिपक गए, एक बार गिर गया हूँ तब से थोड़ा सा सतर्क रहता हूँ. you know there was one stage there was one stage where things were not aligned properly, and I was just walking, I didn't realize it, and then the story happened, right? So I do not want to repeat the same. So let's talk about pricing. Pricing is one of the most significant factor, especially in the Indian context, because most of the decisions by the consumers are ecocentric by nature. That's my complete presumptions, because if you see the bottom of the pyramid, you'll feel that the people who are middle class and the lower middle class segment people, their decisions revolves around economics, and therefore we cannot just overlook the fact that this doesn't happen. This certainly happens, and therefore business organizations also have to see to it that how they are going to actually do the pricing. Would they be doing the pricing something called competitive pricing? This could be their strategy sense. I am going to use a competitive pricing strategy, that is fine, because अगर मेरा competitor 10 रुपए में बेच रहा है तो what should I do, because the product has relatively similar features by nature. Is it that I am going to use something called cost plus pricing? That is something again a strategic move by my side, that I am sensing that the cost of manufacturing the product is 100 rupees, plus I want to have a 20% profit of it, or 20 rupees profit of it. So cost plus pricing strategy. Certain times I can use a strategy called skimming strategy. Skimming का मतलब होता है एक प्रकार से जैसे दूध उबलता है ना, वैसा. तो उबलना का मतलब यहाँ पे ये हो रहा है कि how the market forces are taking it up. So based on the forces out it in the market, what I'm going to do out is that I will also be increasing or decreasing the price of the product. जैसे प्रॉपर्टी के प्राइसेस, डिमांड होगा, it will go up. Demand goes down, naturally it will fall, because then only you can again stimulate the consumer base. Certain times some of the companies can use captive pricing as a strategy. Now captive pricing means I am looking forward to capture. So क्या करेंगे हम? Certain times we can reduce the price to the extent that we are actually overcoming the impact of the competitor. ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं हम. ठीक है? So these type of strategies also can be used by the business organization not only to remain it in the market and maintain and manage market share, but also they look forward to remove some of the, you know, some of the players which can be a threat to them. इसीलिए हम क्या करते हैं, certain times I feel personally, Pepsi and Coke, you don't have many competitors, because the moment something comes inside, they reduce the price to the extent that the other persons will not be using it, and everywhere their distribution network is so intensive by nature that they are actually present everywhere. अगर आप इसी में देखो distribution को भी connect कर दो, so their distribution is highly intensive. When I use the word intensive, I mean to say that I am making the goods available across every nook and corner of the country. Think, every nook and corner of the country, I'm trying to enter it. इससे क्या होगा? कोई भी कॉलेज हो दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का, इधर पेप्सी है या कोक है. Think, right? Go to the interiors of the village, again the same thing. Something you'll get it. Even at times they claim it. If you don't get water, we are there to serve you with, with cold drinks. So that is what I call it as intensive distribution. अपनी distribution strategy को इतना बना दिए है, इतना अंदर घुस जाओ आप, कि then people are by default getting it, and when people get it, people go for it. That is the whole strategy. If you see Haldiram, once announced that we are going to come out with 500 outlets it on national highways. Yeah, national highways, 500 more outlets. So everywhere, if you see Delhi, and then if you see 360 degree of Delhi, and around 100 kilometers, you'll have one sure shot Haldiram, one sure shot MacD, one sure shot KFC. Why? Because the generation's taste and preferences have changed. And then today's newspaper I was reading, I think it was Haldiram only, they were saying that two chole bhature 125, two aloo puri 40 rupees nasta. Pricing strategies actually ignite majority of you. Trust me. Tomorrow when you are going to be a working class individual, what is going to happen is that you don't have time. आज आप यहाँ हो, कल मुंबई में काम कर रहे होगे, right? When you are working it out over there and you need breakfast, where is the time for you to prepare breakfast? Then you look forward to actually order it from the organization which is hygienic by nature and also selling it at a reasonable prices, because that suits you. भाई वो तो मुझे पता है, मस्त हो तुम. आओ इधर आओ. वहाँ बात करने के लिए नहीं आना है यार, यहाँ संडे के यहाँ पे टॉक शो थोड़ी हो रहा है, है ना? इधर यू लिसन और यू गो. Some companies, what are they doing nowadays, especially in the low involvement, there is something called product bundle pricing strategy. अब आप देखो पूरा पूरा मॉल में क्या हो रहा है, प्रोडक्ट बंडल. समझ रहे हो? 3-4 काम का प्रोडक्ट है, 2-4 products which are not at all of use, but it has been bundled it in a basket. The same thing that we do when we gift it to somebody. So it is bundling of products. बंडल का बेसिकली मीन्स है कि 5-7 प्रोडक्ट एक साथ जोड़ दिए, उसको बंडल बना दिए, and then saying that 799, and then they cross it out and then they write 599, and that is something which is going to entice you. It entices. We can't say that it doesn't entice us. It certainly entices us. Entices का मतलब है हमें बहुत अट्रैक्ट करता है. ठीक है? क्योंकि वो जो बंडलिंग हुई है, एक तो बड़ा इतना दिख रहा है, हिंदुस्तानियों को ये बड़ा अच्छा लगता है. They like the most when they see large numbers and then at a reasonable price. It works. So it is working it out. Why not I try it out to bundle the products? There can be a strategy. That strategy I am not discussing it out. The strategy is that I have few inventories of mine. I want to release it out. So I collaborate with the other company, and then we say that let us come out with a bundle, and I am going to give you a product at a very lesser price. So that could be my strategy to release the inventory because expiry date is reaching, right? So कभी कभी क्या होता है, आपको ये भी दिखेगा जोग्राफिकल प्राइसिंग पे भी लोग काम करते हैं, प्रोडक्ट टू प्रोडक्ट जोग्राफिकल प्राइसेस भी हो सकता है। दिल्ली में ये है, मुंबई में ये है, पेट्रोल में देख लो आप, ठीक है। अब इसमें हम टैक्स वाले के अंदर नहीं जा रहे हैं अभी, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट ऑफ मच इम्पोर्टेंस। Moving forward, we can also talk few of the things like what are the various factors which influences consumer pricing decisions, right? So we can say that there can be internal factors, there can be external factors which are going to be obviously influencing the consumer, influencing the pricing decision from the company side. So internal factors again can be the cost of manufacturing. So when I say the cost of making up of a product, again related to something which is fixed by nature, and certain times it is variable by nature, because of the fact that the forces out in the market is never stagnant. अभी आप देखो कोई भी जैसे सीमेंट का प्राइस है, हमेशा स्टेबल नहीं होगा, पेट्रोल का प्राइस है, डीजल का प्राइस है, या फिर all types of components, raw materials or semi finished goods that you are buying it, everything is not going to be stable by nature unless and until you have signed the contract, and that contract is called blanket contract. अगर आपको इसको फिक्स करना है, तब आपको, अगर आपको पूरा ही चीज फिक्स करना है, तब आप उसके किसी सामने वाले कंपनी के साथ आप ब्लैंकेट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करोगे, मतलब नेक्स्ट 1 ईयर तक आप मुझे 100 रुपए में माल दोगे, तब तो मेरा कॉस्ट ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑल्सो कैन बी सेम। बट जितने कंपोनेंट्स मैं ले रहा हूँ फॉर मेकिंग अप ऑफ अ फाइनल प्रोडक्ट, देयर इज ऑलवेज अ पॉसिबिलिटी दैट देयर इज गोइंग टू बी फ्लक्चुएशन इट इन द कंपोनेंट दैट आई एम यूजिंग इट टू मेक अ प्रोडक्ट। तो जब इनका प्राइस में फ्लक्चुएशन होगा तो कॉस्ट ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग व्हाट विल हैपन देन, फ्लक्चुएट होगा। तो एक फैक्टर है विच इज इन्फ्लुएंसिंग प्राइसिंग डिसीजन। आज मान लो मेरा 98 में हो रहा था cost of manufacturing, tomorrow there can be 103 rupees, so there is an increase of 5 rupees because of the factors. Then there is also a possibility that it can be an external factor because the government has increased the rate, increased the service tax, increased the GST, depending it on the product that we are talking and dealing about, right? If there is going to be this, about to this is that the competitors have come out with a new product, and therefore I have to bring a new product into my system, and making up of a new product has actually resulted it in a new price of a new product that we have made it. ऐसा भी हो सकता है, think, because we are always surmounted with multiple forces, and these multiple forces will make us to change. Trust me, they will always make us to change. You think HUL changes a product, Procter and Gamble has to change the product, then there is a parallel economy by Babaji, Patanjali, right? Is it or not? So if they come out with a better product than these two, they are gone, they are gone. So they have to do something, they have to do something to to match up with, if not to over exceed, at least to match up, otherwise my market share I would be losing it over a period of time. ये सब फैक्टर्स है, कॉम्पिटिटर फैक्टर है, गवर्नमेंट फैक्टर है, चैनल मेंबर्स फैक्टर्स है, चैनल पार्टनर्स फैक्टर्स है, कस्टमर्स फैक्टर्स है। द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज कस्टमर्स बाय द वे, बिकॉज इट इज द फोर्स विच इज गोइंग टू मेक यू चेंज। इसको बंद करते तो अच्छे से बड़ा, it is the force which makes you to change, because the customer will say we are not at all intending to buy your product because the offers are better from the other competitors, खत्म, ठीक है। Okay, any question? Yeah, important question, that's the question. I don't know, I'm not the maker of a question paper, hopefully I'll evaluate. Psychological pricing बहुत बढ़िया बाटा। See, psychological pricing is what, something which is being kept it kept as a price which is going to actually tell you that it is less than a 3 digit, suppose 99 rupees, so it is still a 2 digit, though you are paying 100 rupees and you leave the counter. So this is called psychological pricing. That makes you people to sense that it is not about 10,000 9990 something. I'm not saying 9999, 9990. People feel that yeah, it is less than 10,000 rupees, let's go for it. वो तो भाई सच बात है, but we all have to play. You as a business organization, you have to play. उसको बड़ा लेवल पे लो ना, 99 lakhs and 1 crore. Does this make a difference? There is a huge difference of 1 lakh rupees, right? So certain times this can be a psychological barrier. Certain times it is going to stop you not to buy it, and certain times it is going to actually ignite the consumer base to go for the product. So it works, it doesn't work, but we have to keep on doing something. Understand? I am talking it from the organization perspective. So organization always has to keep on doing something with respect to strategy, so that they can stimulate the consumer base, and based on that probably consumers go for the product. 79 rupees breakfast, suppose if I launch today, Haldiram, inclusive of all taxes. तो आपको आपके दिमाग में लगेगा ना यार, इंक्लूसिव ऑफ ऑल टैक्सेस 79, 3 छोले, 3 पूरी सपोज विद आलू सब्जी एंड चटनी. अभी आज का पेपर में आया है. मैं साइकोलॉजिकल प्राइसिंग को डील कर रहा हूँ. व्हाई नॉट? रीजनल प्लेयर्स आर डूइंग आउट इट इन द मार्केट. You see, I do not know how many of you, but if you are residing it in it in a gated community, and if you are living alone and you need a lunch or a dinner or a breakfast, you just check it out, it is inside the society which auntie makes, and she says 50 rupees breakfast. I think with time and age you will start going for such things. Trust me, with time and age I am saying. Why? Because now you people can go for all junk. With age with age slowly, automatically everything is going to be under control. We need not have to say, automatically it will happen. So this is what I am trying to say, it is psychological. uh, so that was all about, in short, about pricing. Sorry. Let's talk about distribution, right? When I say the word distribution or place, it is the movement of goods from one place to the another place and make the goods accessible and approachable, and people go and buy the product. So distribution plays a significant role. In fact, if you see in today's scenario out it in India, I think it is all about distribution which is playing a significant role. And companies like Amazon, Flipkart, you know, and other online companies, what they have done out is that they are actually they actually have designed the network it in a manner that they are capable enough to cover pan India. Understand this? They are capable enough to capture pan India. मतलब sorry, matlab they are everywhere present, they can make the products uh, uh, accessible to all. Today you book it from the very interior of a village, probably there is a possibility that they may not be able to deliver you in 3 days of time, but there is a possibility that the product is going to reach you within 5 days. In Delhi तो सुबह बुक करोगे शाम को आ सकता है. So that's the power of distribution, right? So what are they doing it? If you critically analyze this, what they do out is that they are designing the networking strategies. See, they are not the maker of the product. Understand, my dear students. Are they the maker of the product? So all you people being the maker of the product are in my panel, right? And this is the platform so-called technology. So the consumer, you are the maker of the product, I am running this show, and the consumers enters into this technological model. They buy, and therefore it goes into the you people and to the other distributors, and from there the product actually moves to the locations. So what do they do out is that I'm getting disturbed with you guys here on a very serious note, right? This is not the place to, you're not sitting it in a movie theater. See, BBA होता तो I would have said Bollywood है छोड़ो. MBA है तो a bit of seriousness is required. Trust me. In a BBA, if you are teaching it, they will all be doing all kind of nonsense. In MBA, we don't expect this. So what I'm saying is that intensive distribution, extensive distribution, or exclusive distribution, or selective distribution. I have to decide which distribution network is going to be good enough for my products. Because if you see eggs, if you see bread, if you see butter, if you see some kind of basic things that we go and purchase it on regular basis, and they are all perishable by nature. Perishable समझते हो है ना, जो डाई हो जाता है, खराब हो जाता है, उस टाइप का दूध दही कर्ड एंड ऑल दैट. So what do we do out is that we make the product accessible. Intensive distribution is needed because people are going to buy it, they use it on regular basis. But the thing is that it should be available in each and every corner. And therefore you have all kinds of small tempos that you see it in the local streets and corners. It's because the organization is trying to make the product reach to every gully of your place. आप कभी देखते होंगे ब्रिटानिया का गाड़ी चल रहा होता है अंदर अंदर छोटे छोटे टेम्पोस, right? And all your, I would call it as, you know uh, basic things needs to be distributed through intensive channel, because उनका दूसरा भी मकसद है. Volume sales leads to profit. Volume sales, right? दूध में कितना रुपया बचता होगा? 1 लीटर, 2 रुपया, 3 रुपया, something like that, right? So it is a game of volumes. But if I am able to sell, let's say 3,000 liters, then if I am making 3 rupees or 4 rupees per packet, my volume is reaching it to huge numbers. So it's a game of volume. Then there is something called exclusive or extensive distribution. So exclusively you are going to get the products in the exclusive outlets. Like if you want to purchase, HCL laptop, so you're not going to get it in every Tom and Dick place. It is going to be available only in the exclusive outlet. Because then the trust also comes that I have purchased it from an exclusive outlet. Suppose certain times we say that if I want to purchase a shoe, I'll go and purchase it exclusively from a Bata's outlet. Why? Because there is a trust associated. But the product also has to reach. The important thing is that the product has to reach. If the product is not reaching it to the specific location or destination, then it is going to impact me. And people don't buy it. कभी कभी मल्टी स्टोर का भी कॉन्सेप्ट है इंडिया में. क्या है, अगर आप देखोगे एक्सक्लूसिव स्टोर्स वर्सेस मल्टी स्टोर्स भी दिखते हैं आपको कभी कभी. एंड यू कैन से कि सर ऐसा क्यों है? बिकॉज वी आर द पीपल हु आर कंफर्ट लवर्स, and we are the people who are comfort lovers. Then why should I go for an exclusive outlet? Because in the exclusive outlet there is a risk also involved. If I'm just having and selling a laptop exclusively of a brand A, and I know that brand B, C and D are also equally doing good out it in the market, but I am not selling it out, I am actually losing my business, and I probably may not be able to run my family. And therefore they take a non-exclusive license. Then तो थोड़ा licensing का भी part हो जाता है. The moment you take exclusive license, तो exclusive retail outlet होगा. यहाँ पे हम distribution की बात कर रहे हैं, तो distributor भी एकदम exclusive distributor होगा, who is going to be distributing only that good, right? So that is how it goes. Moving forward, we can also say that how can we evaluate market variables affecting channel strategies? यार थोड़ा पानी है क्या किसी के पास? Thank you. यहाँ आओ. खड़े हो, मजा आता है। यहाँ आओ। जल बोर्ड का पानी तो पानी है यार। ओहो। थैंक यू। So moving forward, as I said to you people about evaluating market variables affecting channel strategies, some of the variables like the geography of the market, the size of the market, the density of the market, the behavior of the people, all that is needed to be analyzed. देखो हम लोग बार बार बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन एक एक चीज, एक एलिमेंट जो सबसे बड़ा है वो बोलता हूँ कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर। एक एक बिहेवियर है, वो है कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर, उसके बड़ा कुछ है नहीं। Certain times you do everything for the consumer, but the consumer has to react, the consumers have to act, and the consumers have to accept. But if they are not accepting it out, what is going to happen, that all these strategies that you have adapted it, there is a possibility that it is going to fail, right? So we have to ensure that this is something, this is something that we are trying to read it. Apart from that, most of the organization says that let me try to read the size of the market. क्यों ऐसा होता है? The larger the size of the market, the easier for the business organization to sustain. सोच के देखो आप, जितना बड़ा मार्केट होगा उतना चांसेस ऑफ सर्वाइवल है। यस, नो? The chances of survival is very high as long as the size of the segment or market is large enough. Like that, we can talk about product variable, companies variable, intermediary variable. ये सब different variables that can affect the overall channel strategies. That how many variables I need to have it. When I say channel partner or channel, I'm just trying to say that making the goods move from the producer to the consumer. If you see here, it goes with respect to product. Suppose if it is a perishable product, so what I'll do out is that there is going to be directly from producer to consumer. जैसे दूध आता है आपके घर में, so certain times it is directly, and very less number of people are going to be involved. Certain times what you will do out is that you are going to have a wholesaler, retailer and consumer. Certain times you can have a producer, retailer and a consumer. Certain times you can have a producer, distributor and and then a consumer. So depending it on the nature and type, you are actually going to decide what is that which is going to do it. It in the industrial product things are entirely different. अभी तो हम लोग सिर्फ कंज्यूमेबल की बात कर रहे हैं, तो हमें ऐसा लग रहा है इंडस्ट्रियल में देखो ऐसा ही हो रहा है. Somewhere it is happening, production is happening, and then there is an exclusive distributor for Delhi region, and from exclusive distributor it is going to sub distributor, and from sub distributor it is reaching it to the retailers or directly to the consumers, right? And this is where we have to be very sensible enough that with which particular product what we are doing out and what is the strategy that is needed. Because if we are very clear out with respect to the you know with respect to the type of product that we are dealing it out, and what and what is the overall life cycle of the product, probably we can always design a better strategy and can look forward to satisfy, and we are going to be having relatively a less loss in terms of inventory or in terms of product dying or product attaining its expiry, so and all that. अच्छा, इन सब में एक एक कॉमन चीज होता है, एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. अब आपने बना तो लिया चैनल पार्टनर, right? When you make a channel partner, there is always going to be a conflict. Think of, conflicts are going to be always there, because there is a producer, and then I have made, let's say, four major distributors it in the four metros. I am a producer, four. Then if there is if the product has to be moved out of the shelf it in this manner with respect to this information it to the client and at this price, but this particular distributor is playing a role, though he knows that he is getting 20% discount, but then he is saying that I'm not going to take 20% discount, I'm going to pass 5% more discount into the client. And if you can sense what I'm saying is, I'm passing 5% discount into the client, that means I am selling it at a lesser price than the others, right? And if I'm selling a product at a lesser price than the other, that means that I am actually bringing conflict in the system. People will come to know by default. This is called horizontal conflict, because we all were four distributors. If somebody is passing some unnecessarily some undue advantage to the client because he wants to increase his sales it in that particular region, so there can be a possibility that the people from that particular place will go to that region and buy the product. I hope I'm making sense, right? So there is a possibility like that, people can move from there and can buy it. So this is horizontal. There can be a vertical conflict also. Now when I say vertical, vertical मतलब ऊपर से नीचे, horizontal ऐसे, right? So when I say vertical conflict is from, let's say, top to bottom or bottom to top. Now when I say top to bottom or bottom to top, anywhere you let's say producer, wholesaler, retailer type. So wholesaler has to pass the information into the retailer. In many you know technological products, these are the major problems. In technological product, the usage, application, benefits, features, and the information to the client, and what type of information has to go to the client, all that has to be given it. Think, if you are not giving proper information to the client, then what will happen? That particular whole channel is going to get impacted. प्रोड्यूसर डांटेगा, होलसेलर को बोलेगा यार तुम क्या कर रहे हो यार, ठीक से बता नहीं हो क्या क्लाइंट को. होलसेलर बोलेगा रिटेलर को, हो सकता है होलसेलर ही नहीं बता पा रहा हो रिटेलर को ठीक से क्लाइंट को इन्फॉर्मेशन, या रिटेलर नहीं बता पा रहा है, information is not getting passed it to the client. As a result, what is happening is that lot of conflict is taking place it in the channel, and this type of conflicting situation we call it as a vertical conflict. यस यार, क्वेश्चन कुछ नहीं पूछोगे क्या आज? हाँ, लिखो लिखो चैप्टर 1. अबे क्वेश्चन ही तो बता रहा हूँ, तो चैप्टर 1 के अंदर से ही बताऊंगा ना. अभी बताता हूँ, बस थोड़ा ये बंद करा के बताता, ठीक है ना. देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड मल्टी चैनल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट एट द सेम टाइम. सी अब क्या हो रहा है, ये सबसे ज्यादा कॉन्फ्लिक्ट यहाँ हो रहा है. Horizontal we can manage it because we know, vertical also we can know, but there is something called multi-channel conflict happening. Now multi-channel means when a producer is selling the goods through online and also through traditional method, and normally you are seeing that there is a gap because online wala kuch kalakari kar raha hai and they are showing it at a very reasonable price. And then what will happen to the one who are selling it through physical stores? People are saying it na, people are saying how is it possible, बट क्लाइंट कस्टमर को तो कोई मतलब नहीं है भाई, कस्टमर तो अपना हैप्पी है. कस्टमर वेयर एवर ही इज गेटिंग अ प्रोडक्ट एट अ लेसर प्राइस, ही गोज फॉर द प्रोडक्ट एंड ही एंजॉयज. But the thing is that the ones who are getting impacted are the ones who will say that then why should we actually remain associated with you as a distributor or a dealer or a retailer or whatsoever it is, or a channel partner, because conflict is taking place, sale is not happening, resulting it in huge loss, and the stores are getting shut. आज आप देखो what is the status of mall. Huh? Yeah, we have a class from 2. Hello. I think you people are too early for the next class. Yes, I guess you didn't understand my question. Hello, gentlemen. I am saying you people are too early for the next class. Too early for the next class. मतलब जल्दी आ गए क्या आज? Huh? No discrimination from my side. No, these people were already sitting, na? So I know them. So what I was saying is, you know, if you see the whole scenario of the country today, I'm seriously doubting. That's completely out of the context that I'm saying. But what is going to be the future of retailing is a question. Think it is a serious question. What is going to be the future of retailing? Certain times, um, online has been actually, actually has got the move because of pandemic. The ones who have never used and experienced online, buying of goods, they all have experience today. And trust me, it in metro, what is happening is that, as I said, we all are, comfort lovers. Even to buy vegetables, we have Blinkit. We don't want. Could be because of, lack of time that we have, because of the lifestyle that we have, because of we do not want to be unnecessarily wanting engaging ourselves into non, you know productive task. And therefore we don't want directly that all these things should reach back at home with ease, and there shouldn't be any tension to me across. So that could be one. And second is that more number of, outlets getting increased with respect to time. That is also a challenge. India को पहले से ही challenge है. Because there is a concept called rural versus urban, post this. Why I'm saying this is, इंडिया का जो बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर है, नीचे दुकान ऊपर मकान का, वो पहले से ही है. India is the only country which has the largest number of retail outlets in the world. ये मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, ये डेटा बोलता है. This is what I am coming back. हाँ, it okay. आपको ऐसा लग रहा है? With respect to time, agricultural seed are being purchased by the farmers. Organic seeds, organic products these days, people have started. See, what that is why I say you just cannot say that it will not happen. आजकल गांव में भी लोग बड़ा सतर्क हो गए. एग्रीकल्चर चैनल देखते हैं, एंड देन दे से दैट ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग वी हैव टू डू इट, एंड ऑर्गेनिक सीड्स वी हैव टू इंपोर्ट इट, एंड पीपल बाय इट. And good thing that has happened is that, our prime minister is actually enforcing towards digitalization. So the we are all moving ahead towards it. So the advantages are there. My question was not that whether it is going to impact recession or not. My question was that, one side we were already having the largest number of retail outlets. We are already used to, one major organization. It is the concept of retailing. It is called, Parchun ki dukan in Hindi. Today's fancy term for this, organization or retail outlets, it is called mom and pop organization, right? The fancy term which has come out, it is called mom and pop organization, or it is called convenience stores. आज आप 500 मीटर चलना थोड़ी चाहते हो to buy eggs, to buy breads, to buy, dahi, curd, paneer. Do you want to travel 1 kilometer to buy these things, or you want to go to mall to purchase these things? Already it was there, already it is there. Very difficult for these consumers to change, and then you are coming out with an organized concept. So he is right that, you know there is an organized concept, but this organized concept also, with respect to time, people have started taking differently, and because of that, some of the retail outlets are extremely not doing good, and they are shutting out, which is a serious matter. सर्वे करिए मुंबई में, सर्वे करिए दिल्ली में. Even for your example, majority of you would have visited, all my friends, GIP Mall of India. GIP Mall, right? What has happened? As far as my observation goes, the footfall in this mall has come down significantly. How many of you agree if you have gone to this? The footfall of this mall actually have come down. तुम जाते रहते हो, फुटफॉल कम हो गया, कम हुआ है नहीं हुआ? पहले से जितना चाम था, फरीदाबाद रोड में आपको कुछ मॉल्स दिखेंगे which are completely dead. हाँ, वो खोल के it has become such points. It has become such points. I don't know, but I feel, I personally feel कि यार इतना इतना पैसा खर्च हुआ है, जिसने भी दुकान लिया, कुछ भी किया. Just imagine to buy a small 10 by 10 outlets in a mall is not one cup of tea. 50 लाख रुपए लग रहा है, right? It is a huge amount of money, and then it doesn't run. And if it doesn't run, there is a fan about me. That is the only alternative. क्यों? बिल्डर्स का भी हाथ है. फ्रेंचाइज तो ठीक है, they are big players. I'm talking about just small players. Somebody is selling shirts, somebody selling some, ladies garments, somebody selling some stuff it in a 150 square feet area. He has bought a, he has taken the franchisee of, let's say, किसी भी कोई brand का ले लिया, and people are getting it relatively at a lesser price through, online. आप एक शर्ट खरीदोगे, मान लो 1000 रुपए का है, ऑनलाइन में 800 रुपए का मिल रहा है. Why should I buy it? Why should I buy it? Today's consumer, these days, wherever we go with this minimum. We cross check it out. Your generation does this. You cross check it out and you say that we are getting at this price. Why should I buy from you? Think. Why should I buy from you? This is where the difference. This is the conflict between online versus traditional. This is what I am teaching. Multi-channel conflict means conflict between, two modes. And the major thing is the price at which you are selling, or the services that you are giving it to the client. ठीक है? Yes, sir. Any question before I move to the next element called promotion? Can I take break for 2 minutes? एक बजकर 12 मिनट हो गया. यार अटेंडेंस शीट प्लीज. अरे वहाँ दे दो बेटा. ये ले लो बेटा. बहुत बड़ा हॉल है यार. हम्म? बेटा एक दिखाना एक बार बुक. मार्केटिंग है ना. अब थोड़ा बंद कर दीजिए। अब मैं थोड़ा इनफॉर्मल कुछ बातें करना चाहता हूँ।